Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Mitch Abrams, founder of Next Gen Health, and you're watching Next Gen Health's Energy Nuggets. This is a series of videos that will lead you to a greater understanding of the connectivity between mind, body, and spirit with the purpose of making all of you more efficient and happy human beings. But before we dive in, don't forget, if this resonates with you, please subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe button, and leave me comments below as you follow along. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Now, in my last video, I explained the importance of this series. Today, I'm going to introduce a tool to help us all tune into a particular frequency, and I promise it will radically change your life. But you have to understand it first. Now, by the way, let me make this crystal clear. What we're talking about is all evidence-based clinical research. It is important that we understand that these Energy Nugget videos are going to provide you with the facts of emerging and the most up-to-date research available today. We're discussing how your focused concentration, thoughts, and emotions all affect your health, body, biochemistry, your genes, even your genetic expression. And to go a step further, how your consciousness affects the fundamental elements in our human existence. Take this chart for example. It demonstrates the number of peer-reviewed journal articles, peer-reviewed being the gold standard in research. It just doesn't get better than that. Since the year 2000, the scientific community became very interested in a mental exercise called mindfulness. This is a state of being where you're completely tuned into the here and the now, this present moment. As you can see, there has been an exponential explosion of interest in this area of science. And this is just one example of many mental exercises within the realm of the spiritual sciences. Today, there are more than 2 papers per day being published on average, and we can just no longer shrug off the data. We must begin discussing and engaging with this material, and most importantly, create protocols for implementing these practices into our daily lives. So, with that said, to help explain energy from both a modern Western scientific and Eastern spiritual perspectives, I'll use a simple tool called the Medicinal Mandala. This is an artistic expression of energy from both sides of the fence. The Medicinal Mandala is made up of 2 superimposed diagrams. Take a moment here to really appreciate the design on your screen. Einstein is staring at the central piece called a vector equilibrium. The vector equilibrium is considered one of the most energetically balanced systems of energy we know of. In this medicinal mandala, it represents the Western science and technology, all the hard sciences we traditionally think of and study in school. The vector equilibrium is very important and is related to the 1996 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, is staring at the background flower. This is called a mandala. The mandala dates back thousands of years and is found throughout Eastern culture, spiritual scriptures, and art. The mandala represents the spiritual sciences, the science of mind, consciousness, the science of our interconnectedness. The spiritual sciences explains the science of connection, how we connect to ourselves, each other, to the planet, even beyond. Now, can everyone see how these 2 diagrams superimposed on each other occupy the same space? Notice how they flow into each other. The reason for this is because they share a very specific mathematical ratio, a pattern, or a rhythm that is universal and found throughout nature. In school, this is referred to as the Fibonacci sequence, golden ratio, or even the architecture of the universe. This rhythm is identified in every flower, fruit, and vegetable, every rolling wave, the environmental patterns, and even the spiraling arms of galaxies. Even our entire human anatomy is dancing to this rhythm. Once you identify it, the more you become acquainted with it, the easier it is to identify it all around you. So, consider the medicinal mandala like a tuner tuning you into a universal frequency. Or like a vaccination for your brain. Think of the medicinal mandala like a lens, and that lens allows you to make sense of this magical and mystical world that science is revealing to us. But most importantly, it will help us understand the gold standard in health and wellness, the Biopsychosocial model of care, or BPS. The BPS model is the gold standard, blending the interconnection between biology, psychology, and socio-environmental factors, examining how these aspects play a role in topics ranging from health and disease models to human development. Essentially, you and I are each part mind, body, and spirit, and in equal parts. Once you understand this model and appreciate the interplay between these three elements, you'll become empowered with a new perspective that allows you to take better control of your life, help you appreciate your true capacity for healing, and most importantly, how to tap into your greatest potential. This is in contrast to the old paradigm of Western medicine, the biomedical model, describing you as solely as a well-oiled biomechanical machine, separate and unrelated to others. However, the gold standard of health for the last 20 years states that we are much more than just a biological machine. In fact, this model indicates we're each part spirit, a spiritual being having a human experience. The BPS model will help you appreciate the interconnected nature of our species and the profound implication to our personal health and the health of our communities, locally and globally. Meanwhile, the Medicinal Mandala helps explain the BPS model and the interplay between mind, body, and spirit. If you are wondering about the medicinal qualities of the Medicinal Mandala, print the Medicinal Mandala and just spend a few moments coloring its design. By focusing your concentration on this design, for instance, through coloring, the universal energetic pattern it harbors helps slow your brainwaves into a calming therapeutic alpha wave range, leaving you feeling lighter, more relaxed, rejuvenated. Now, you don't have to take my word for it, just try it. Please, I dare you, try it. So, before I leave with one of my favorite quotes, I invite you to tune in to Nugget number 2, where we will begin to dive into the mind-body connection and how our brain acts like muscles. It's absolutely insane what the research is showing. Krishnamurti said, "It is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society." Damn straight. Thanks everyone for joining me here today. If you enjoyed the video, if it resonated and you know of people that would really appreciate hearing more about this topic, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, share it with friends, and just let us know your thoughts, any comments, and anything that you'd like us to talk about in future videos.